Welcome to another episode of Humanly Plausible. Now, welcome your hosts, Roly and Richard from Pink Studio Central.
Here we go.
So,
welcome back to another episode of Humanly Plausible. Today we have Jodel from Grapevine Insurance. Jodel, why don't you give them a little tidbit on what you guys, who you are, and what you do?
Sure. My name is Jodel Felix. I'm the owner of Grapevine Insurance Group, located here in Plantation, Florida, suburb of Fort Lauderdale. We focus primarily on life and health, and we like to say, simply put, that we like to help people protect their legacies and even build their legacies. So that's Grapevine Insurance.
So we met Jodel through our brand video giveaway. So here, located in Quest, in our offices in Quest in Plantation, he was the lucky winner, and so that's how we got to meet them. We went through a discovery to develop their brand video. We thought it was perfect to have him as a guest, especially for what they're doing here in the local community. So thank you for being here with us.
Thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate it so much. And,
Appreciate it.
Just maybe start off a little talking about, you talk about legacy protection.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us a little bit about kind of some of the things that, we really just mentioned discovery. One of the things we had to discover in order to do your brand video is, what is your value proposition? So talk about legacy protection as a value proposition.
So as a value proposition, great question. So often you find a lot of insurance agencies that are in similar lines of business like me, whether it's life or health, the various types of it, that focus so much on the actual product and the company. So for me, we are independent agency. So we're not, married to any particular carrier. We have multiple carriers and we pick those that are best for the client. So the clients, we tell our clients often, we work for them, not the carrier. And we use the word legacy protection because I think that's sort of the forgotten focus of why we're in this business, right? Mm-hmm. So what does legacy mean? So we started to truly define what that meant to us and our families, and that kind of helped us translate that out to the masses of the public that we were trying to protect in many ways,
Mm-hmm.
right? So whether it's small business owners, whether it's individuals and families who have, they may just have a nest egg they want to leave behind their family, or they want to establish a nest egg, then protect that. Whether it's a small business that have a partnership, and what happens to one partner. Those are the kind of questions that we started to, put together and ask various people as we were building our client base, and it just made sense. So you're going to often hear, whether it's any type of publication, whether it's any type of marketing effort, whether it's any type of website, digital effort, you're going to hear us use the word legacy protection or legacy in every discussion.
Awesome.
Yeah, so we're definitely going to have more information on Grapevine Insurance. We encourage you to reach out if you guys have questions in this area. If you don't have life insurance, we do encourage folks to at least ask the questions. He could take the calls are free, right? So
Yeah.
I mean, free call,
free quote in a matter of minutes.
I love it.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get our humanly plausible question going.
So yeah, as you know, we do the out the box section. We have Jodel here today, and this is no different than what we always do. We're going to have him reach into it and see what kind of question he pulls out.
Oh man,
yeah. Hopefully,
hand in the basket. Huh?
Yeah, we've been advised that he doesn't have his readers on today, so Roly will be doing the honors.
It's all volunteer.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's long too.
Future something. I saw. What are the future something?
Okay, what are the future trends in advertising and communication that businesses should prepare for? All right, this is a good one. Finally, there wasn't the ones lately have been.
That's a question for you guys, right?
No, you can answer. Yeah, well, think about it.
So okay,
I'll tease.
And you just did a brand video for your organization, so
it's interesting because we can see it from your perspective.
Right.
So I don't think we should start off first. So again, it's what are the future trends in advertising and communication that businesses should prepare for?
Okay.
So maybe not, you're not giving your advice, but maybe from your perspective, you're saying, you know what, I feel like this is something that I really got to get involved into.
Right.
Obviously, we've had already conversations. Sure. The brand video has provoked a lot of these conversations.
Yeah.
So just, you don't have to go into detail, but just from your perspective, where you stand today, what are your thoughts?
So I'm gonna answer it two parts. It's hard for me just to be that simple, right? So the two-part response for me is the general trends that I've noticed is everything, for one, has graduated from from paper to digital, and then from digital to very specific social media, right? So that's sort of where things are going. I mean, where do you have the greatest audience is on social media, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, etc., TikTok. But more important than that, what I've noticed in terms of why this trend is important and having these types of videos are important is because your brand needs to be, how do they call it, sort of omnipresent, right? So you have this very nice brand, an image on your website, but is there a digital or video format that can look at you, the individual or whoever that person is for the business that's going to be the brand of it? How do you get that right?
Yeah.
The face, better stated. How do you get that message to the vast audience and do it in a very professional manner, right? And it's funny when I won the contest with you guys and we did it. It was good timing because I had mentioned to you that my wife and I recently purchased a house and we were looking for inspectors, and these folks didn't have websites. They had a website.
That's right.
And then I saw one with a video.
Yeah.
And it just captivated me. I'm like, wow. So this is the person. I'm actually meeting the person before I meet them in person.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is why it was a great timing, and it made me excited to be able to be the brand, the face of my company, and to sort of have that messaging that I can then disseminate, whether it's various forms of advertising. It's just one major component in the vast array of options for you to, sort of get your message out. So,
Right.
I think that's a trend that's going to follow. I think you guys are a byproduct of what the overall trend is, which is, a social media sort of sphere that we're in.
Yeah, the video content and things that can be leveraged on social media
100%.
and other platforms.
100%.
Yeah.
So, timing was great. So I was like, stars were aligning.
So it's a good perspective, I think, as a business owner. Obviously, your expertise is not in marketing or advertising. That's not what your business does. But you're a business owner, and you're trying to make money, and you're trying to sell products. That's what it comes down to.
That's right.
Yeah.
I think so. Right now, you're saying that social media for you feel is extremely important to have a presence, and at the same time, I mean, just an overall 360 is what we call it. But with a strength in social, at least from, let's say, the life insurance side. That's kind of the way you see it. Is that right? Did I paint that right?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, I think I read a stat. I don't know how true this is.
No, I mean, that seems like that.
Something that said that TikTok had more life insurance views than any other.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Social media platform.
Rich is always hyping TikTok.
Yeah, well, this is the reason
Richard make a TikTok.
I don't post as much as I observe and I analyze because
be good in TikTok video
listen,
right now.
you have to. Once again, okay. So back to that question. So it's very, at the core of what you do as a business and you looking at advertising, there's a core aspect of marketing. What problem do you solve? And so the question is, how do I tell the story to connect? And in your example about the inspector, it was easy to see what problem they solved through that video. And be able to connect like that. So I think that as you go forward in terms of trends, that will never change. I think storytelling, and I think these platforms like TikTok are outstanding platforms for storytelling in the small bite-sized pieces that people want them in. And especially when you look at Generation Z, which is coming up right now, they're termed digital natives. They grew up exclusively with digital platforms. So if anything, as we continue to evolve as advertisers and marketers, understanding how to connect with digital natives and even those before them, because all of us have adapted to a digital kind of ecosystem, 100%. You have to storytell in the video content. Now, I'll tell you one of the things that I don't think we should do that seems like a trend is depend solely on AI to be your marketing partner.
Well, yeah.
And
right. Okay. Yeah.
We're not going to go into AI.
Oh man.
But great
back
point.
To the question.
The next podcast, I definitely want to get into those.
But I think you summed that what AI is. So
beautifully.
You brought up being a face representing the brand.
Right.
Richard just talked about AI, and basically in a nutshell, that is why you can't solely depend on AI, because you cannot really create that personable brand.
That connection.
No. 100%. And I'm living testament of someone who as a salesperson, and I said the hardest person sells another salesperson, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I made a connection to someone's video.
Correct.
Understand what I'm saying? Like their video, and yeah, everyone has a social media page. Most businesses do. How well is it managed? And what do you have on there? Makes
Right.
a difference, right? How do you dress it up? And these videos are, to me, a perfect compliment to where we're trending.
So Richard, give me a future trend.
A future trend is, I think, a really
In your eyes.
In my eyes, it's really just expanded storytelling and utilizing, in our world, especially innovative video and cinematography to make that storytelling just more engaging.
Okay.
Once again, I think that as overall production expectations rise, I always think about video games when I started. Jeez, I shouldn't even say this. When Atari with Space Invaders with so basic graphics, and then the other day I looked and I saw what NBA 2K looks like, and I'm like, so once again, I think the storytelling, especially video content creation, is going to continue to evolve to be more engaging, more immersive. And so I think that's one of the future trends.
So, we recently rebranded to Pink Studio Central, and that was basically because forecasting on what the future looks like. One of the biggest, not predictions, because you don't have to be freaking Nostradamus to make a prediction like this. I think you're seeing it. We're talking about it. It's what Richard is talking about. It's video content. It is content that is strategic, because there's the other thing to be said about, do we just dump a lot of content? Does that make sense? Do we put a lot of stuff out there? Does that work? Not as much. I think it puts your name out there, but at the same time, they're not making a connection. And I think that's really what the value of really developing a brand. That's why people invest in a brand, because
100%.
organizations like a Publix that, they have survived every trend, whether it's your Amazons, your online shopping, the Krogers of the world. But Publix has put its money on its brand and its customer service and its people, and has shown and is proven.
Well said. Consistent.
And it is proven that they're still around. And people like, I on my socials, people always talk about, hey, is there a Publix coming up in this plaza? Are they who?
Well, once again, I think it's the word that we used earlier, connection. Yep. They are dedicated to preserving the human connection, be it in the physical store interactions or in the way that they advertise. The Publix commercials are well known, not so much for, go in and buy a bag of potatoes for $8.99, however much potatoes cost. I have no idea. But
obviously, he doesn't buy potato chips. No, but I think you're close. That's what it is.
But at the end of the day, it's about, what does food, family, gatherings mean to people, and that human connection is what they consistently.
What's the tagline
elevate.
for Publix?
Where shopping is a pleasure.
There you go. That's brand power, man.
That's brand power.
Richard doesn't even know what our tagline is.
I ain't been in a Publix in years.
That's awesome.
You guys have made a lot of really interesting points. Going back to your AI conversation, or just this sort of digital world we live in, where we've been disconnected. COVID really disconnected us, right? So now, I think the question was, how do we evolve with the times yet still keep the human connectivity, right? And it's
huge.
I think that's going to be that sort of
the next chapter,
right? Like, how do you blend that? How do you merge those two? Because that's still important, because that's what we've lost, right? I mean, what's society going to be if we're completely disconnected? I mean, people have their groceries delivered. You mentioned Publix, great example.
Yeah.
And they're still selling. They still have the big box because some folks still want
right.
that. But his generation, I wonder oftentimes, is, are they going to have all their groceries delivered?
By him, he means Gavin.
Gavin, yeah. Sorry.
Our production manager right now.
There's always somebody behind the camera. We all know that. So.
Yeah, and I think back to your point, interestingly enough, when you look at the brand pyramid, and I see all these things about have AI create your website, have AI do this, have AI do that. But then when you look at the brand pyramid, the very first thing is tangible benefits, which, what tangible do you bring? But everything else is pretty much humanly connected, because then it's emotional benefits, it's values, it's personality, brand essence. These are all things that have to be connected humanly. So even if you can get the basics in terms of your tangible benefits, like Grapevine Insurance provides insurance and legacy protection for people who are small businesses, specifically small business owners and entrepreneurs who may not have access to group insurance. You know, that's a tangible benefit, right?
That's basically our tagline.
You know,
he always wants something.
Tagline.
He's going to voice you after the show.
But in the brand video, what we tried to do is do what? Bring out the practical emotional connection and something like living benefits that most people aren't aware of, and how that's part of the insurance ecosystem that gives them an opportunity and a solution while they're still with us.
Yes, and so we'll be, you know, if Jodel agrees to it, we'll put the brand video on there
that'd
too,
be great.
so everybody can check
That'd
it
be
out.
awesome. I mean, Richard, you approached me initially about when we had the first discovery discussion to understand like sort of our background and how we got into it. One of the things you kept saying was, "Hey, Jodel, you're the brand. We need to get you in front of everyone, and how do we do that efficiently? And that's getting you on a video, right? And then that, because obviously I can't be everywhere, right? So, and that was powerful because you know we were conversing.
It is.
That's essentially what we were doing. It was questions asked, and I'm answering what we do and why we do it, right? So,
I would consider insurance a very intimate solution, an intimate interaction, because and so humanizing the brand, I think in this case is very important.
So here's the final thoughts. I think for small business owners, and you know, a lot of people can relate to you. So from what's going on in trends right now, besides hiring Pink Studio and helping you with advertising communications, like what do you feel as a business owner you need to start doing? Like what are some like short-term goals in advertising for you? Like you know what, I'm gonna start doing this after I've spoken with you guys. Like I know I gotta be doing some of this stuff.
Oh, after speaking with you guys, okay.
Yeah, you can throw that in the mix.
Okay,
of course.
Yeah. So, in general, as I mentioned to you guys, we're trying to acquire a certain type of client, right? So we want to acquire more business owners, right? So more small business owners. And after speaking with you guys, where I've sort of reignited a passion, which is to help those families still, right? Okay. Because you get so focused on your target, and you should be as a business. You should be very targeted in who you approach. But it just kind of opened my eyes to a broader need, that there are so many folks who, heck, they may be business owners, but I mean, it's just families in general. And you take the emphasis away on just, hey, you own this business. What's going on at home? Let's talk about what's going on at home and how we can assist you there, right? Do you may have a trust set up, and did you know that the life insurance policy can be the beneficiary of that trust, right? So then the trust has all the language, and you kind of marry those two things, right? So that's something that we do a lot of business discussions. We've mentioned before, whether it's buy-sell agreements, whether it's partnership agreements. I mean, there's tons of different ways life insurance can incorporate into some type of sort of business contract. But then we sometimes forget about the individuals and families, right? And we can target a specific type, but that, in working with you guys and having the discussions and thinking about those living benefits, it started to trigger my mind that maybe there needs to be a re-emphasis on families.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you're I was just going to say, what Jodel is basically saying is realizing that there's stories to be told to particular target audiences and really segmenting some of those opportunities so you can speak directly to them. Excellent.
Yeah.
So I mean, for me, it's, listen, you can have all the trends in the world, you can follow, but if you're always chasing, you're never going to build anything that's solid. It all starts with a plan, a strategy, and what Jodel just talked about, a targeted approach. That's the simple stuff, because people always want to, we always run into it where people want the jazz hands all the time. And you only break out jazz hands is to kind of throw people off.
Oh man.
That's what me and Richard do.
And listen, at the end of the day,
I've been guilty of it, and I had to check myself.
We're gonna do all this, but it's no coincidence that when we look at the name of this podcast, Humanly Plausible, we're still rooted in humanity and humans, because at the end of the day, that's what matters, that connection.
Come on now. So there you go. Appreciate you hanging out with us.
Sure, man.
Definitely, we're going to have his stuff on the page for you guys to check out.
Grapevine Insurance.
Absolutely. As you said, as I said, reach out to him for a free phone call, at least to get the conversation going.
That's grapevineig.com.
There it is.
There it is.
All right.
Excellent.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Brother Jodel, my man.
Yeah, that was good, man. Solid.
All right.
Not be televised. You gotta wake up, open your eyes.